A delightful evening and warm welcome to one and all for the second day virtual multidisciplinary forum on research methodologies and new perspective. On behalf of ADP College of Arts and Science and Cape Comorin, I immensely welcome today's guests and the stalwart of research and also the strive to develop every academician in and around the world. Yes, I welcome Professor Lata Ratovic ma'am, Assistant Professor, Quantitative Department, Faculty of Economics, Business and Tourism, Croatia. She is going to deliver her topic on rudiments of research methodology. I welcome you, ma'am. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Tiram Raza Ganser, Professor, Zamia Hamrat, Delhi. He is going to shower the knowledge on AI and smart cities, a research perspective. Welcome you, sir. Now it's my pleasure to welcome our third resource person of the day, Dr. Shobik Ganguly, Assistant Professor, Tapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala. He is going to share his knowledge on the topic how to organize and present data. I welcome all the great personalities who is going to shower their knowledge on various topics. And it's my pleasure to welcome all the academicians who have joined in this second day meet. Knowledge knows no boundaries. Yes, here I welcome every one of you to gather plenty of knowledge with our resource persons. Once again, I welcome you all. And also it's my pleasure to welcome my own institution faculty members, heads of various departments, and my beloved principal and my chairman, sir, every one of you on this virtual meet. Welcome you once again. Now it's time to introduce our special guest resource person, Professor Nata Ratovic ma'am. She is an assistant professor on Faculty of Economics, Business and Tourism University Split, Croatia. And she is also a professor of VAT High School, Triple SB JJ Shanj, Croatia. And she is a co-founder of IAU Europe and board member of IAU, country director of IAU Croatia, and administrative coaching member of IAU, president of IAU Research Center, International Internship University. And she has the master degree in economics and master degree in mechanical engineering, assistant professor on Faculty of Economics, Business and Tourism Split. She is also a professor mentor in High VET School, holds PhD in statistics and finishing in informatics. She has a diploma as a computer informatics, and she is also a STEM expert. She is the computer science expert, information system manager, and designer of ERP info systems. She deserves many honorary doctorates, human rights, social rights, entrepreneurship, advisor in National Agency for Education and Training, active council member of Croatian Society for Operations Research, and the Association of Accountant and Financial Professional. She is a very active educator for teachers and professors at the Center of Excellence, Teacher for Teacher. She has the honorary works for the International Internship University, the world's first virtual university, where she is board member, IAU, country director of IAU Croatia, and also an administrative coaching member of IAU, president of IAU Research Center. Microsoft Innovative Educator, expert, and Microsoft Global Mentor. She is a certified accountant and certified ISO internal auditor. In teaching she used innovative methods like project-based learning, researching, flipped classroom, collaborative learning, game-based learning, etc. to develop the best skills from the students. Skills, knowledge, competencies, and a sense of responsibility for their own learning. Also, she has the honorary works in many government and NGOs organizations. As a global committee leader, Global Peace Ambassador, World Peace Ambassador, SDG Ambassador, T4 Educator Ambassador, International Advisor, Country Director, Country Coordinator, Professional and honorary member, Global Community Leader, Dynamic Educationist, Global Ambassador, etc. She is also a founder and coordinator of many national and global projects, Erasmus Plus e-twinning scientists, STEM entrepreneur, SDG, and in many various fields. She has written scientific articles in domestic and international journals and works reviews of international authors. Editor board member in many journals, author and co-author of many university and high school books and handbooks. Writes articles in newspapers, magazines, medias, makes digital materials and books for cross-curricular topics and makes columns for evaluation for specialized education, publishing houses and video lectures for education and training. On national and global level, organizes workshops for gift students and students with special educational needs. Trains, educates, and involves them in competitions and events, empowering them and proving that they are excellent in many fields. She is a social activist on a global and national level. She has organized numerous humanitarian and volunteer actions and all around the world. Humanity at Work, Save Africa, and more promoting child sense of self-worth. Their ability to determine their own choices and their right to influence social change and change for themselves and others, achieving a more peaceful and prosperous world essential for achievement of sustainable development. Workshop Women Empowerment and Women's Entrepreneurship as a member of Women's Empowerment for Women's Entrepreneur Council on national and global level. As a multitasking global educationist for the work, she won each year many awards, recognitions, diplomas, certificates, medals for national and international achievements. Croatia's Best Teacher Awards. She also received International Women's Awards, Croatia Public Awards, International STEM Awards, International Educator of the Year, Award of Excellency, Best Women Researcher, Best Ambassador Award, Best Global Professor, Best Teacher Award, Best Teacher using Digital Media Platform, Bravery Award, Corona Warriors Award, Dynamic Peace Award, Peace Ambassador Award, Excellence Award, Entrepreneur Award, Global Educator Award, Global Creative Women Award, Global Statistic Awards, Global Edu Conclave Awards, Global Edu Thought Awards, Leader Award, Global Humanitarian Awards, International Educationist Awards, Innovative Educator Awards, Global Teacher Awards, Honorary Volunteering Award, and she is also a Most Inspired Women, Most Courageous Woman Award. She has received Global Research Award, Golden Star Teachers Award, Award for the Best Academic Book, Yellow Frame Award, SDG Award. Still her awards are continuing for pages, and she has also received many recognitions for the humanitarian and volunteer actions and works with students with special needs and gift students. Her specialized fields: statistics, math, informatics, ecology, STEM, economy, business, tourism, entrepreneurship, accounting, human rights, professor, trainer, educator, researcher, reviewer, international speaker, moderator, motivator, project manager, social worker, and whatnot. Ma'am, really, I'm very much tired of reading your
Yes,
we are very much honored to have you in this forum, ma'am. Really, we are very much blessed to have you in this forum. We are all the faculties are awaiting to listen to your session, ma'am. Ma'am, now the session is yours.
Thank you. Warm greetings from Croatia. Honored and grateful to be here today. Thankful to Dr. Silvest and to Dr. Shalia Vasudeva for this opportunity. Let us try sharing my presentation. Again, I don't see it. I don't know why. Every time I don't see it here in the window. Dr. Vasudeva, can I send to you the presentation?
Yes, Nada ma'am, please share your PPT
Yes, because
with me. I will do arrangement. Don't worry.
okay, I don't know why, but it is not visible here when I want to share it. So let me share.
It's visible, Nada ma'am.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, is it visible? Visible, it is visible.
Yes, it
Actually,
is
ma'am,
visible. It is visible, but can I? Are they moving? Am I moving the slides?
ma'am, Shailaja, ma'am.
Yes, Lakshmi ma'am.
Ma'am
Are
is
they
asking
moving?
about the movement of slides, whether she can drag the slides or you will change the slides.
It's only introduction. It's only introduction slide.
Yes. Ma'am, you can begin, ma'am. You can begin, ma'am. Dear ma'am, you can begin the
Now
session.
it's moving.
Shailaja, ma'am will change the slides, ma'am.
You think that I do it if it is on this way, are they changing?
Yes, it's changing, Nada ma'am.
Okay, so let us do it without full mode because maybe you don't want that. So today, my topic is the rudiments of research methodology. I'm coming from Croatia, working at the University of Split, economics, business, tourism, professor in a Harvard school, working honorary for international internship university. This topic today and this conference and faculty development program is very important, especially when we are seeing which topic we want to go through. So before we start, we need for everything what we do, especially for research, we need a motivation, inspiration, and in which field we will start doing our research, what is our specialization, and what we need to know. We need to know what is important and why and for what we are doing our research and what we are calling research. So this is really an exercise because we know sometimes how many times do we need to collect the data, to collect the information, to make the questions, to choose everything. So in my introduction, I want to say this. Today, everything is hard, but we need to be curious. So we need to, if we want to make our research, we need to know the basic terminology. We need to know to read, understand, conduct, and analyze research. So without any of these phases, we cannot make our research. I want to say that coming from Europe, I'm a proud woman science, working a lot. Even I'm coming from the field of economics. I have that part of technical, in the engineering. So I'm really a lot in the STEM. So empowering the women in science, working so many projects on the European level with my students. Uh, you see here, every year we have something new. And what is here very special, it is special that we get from the European Union, the grants and funds. So after this, we always have something new. We make a book or some kind of new digital materials. So we make STEM weeks, and 4 months continuously, 4 months we are working on different kind of projects with different colleagues from Europe. And I can say there are so many women participating here. And yes, there are big opportunities. If you are good in this part, you have also an opportunity to get a job which is very, very high paid. So doing with students, motivating, inspiring, making this, doing competitions, also sparking the creativity in so many competitions we need to do, inventions, patents, everything. And then after that, we always make a research. But how can we make a research? Students already started to learn in the high school because project-based learning is very important. And if they want to make it, we need to teach them the main rudiments of research. So what are the main parts? What are the basic parts of any subject? So we need to first learn that. Rudiments today, we can say always that research can be qualitative, quantitative, or we can have a mix. Honestly, I love more the quantitative, but doing mixes with qualitative, we need to conduct a lot of literature. We need to know what is new because every day is a new challenge. So the main thing is that the rudiments are that we need to know that quantitative, the term quantitative says we are doing with numbers. So that is the numeric, and qualitative is non-numeric data. So in quantitative, how can we start? We will make surveys, we will make forms, we will make polls, we will collect the data and different way. We will use different software. So there are so many possibilities if we want to make a quantitative research. But at qualitative, we are dealing with non-numeric data. So somebody who in fields, social or some fields, they are more oriented on this qualitative research. So you need to make observations, you need to make interviews, discussions, different types before you are starting. So the rudiments are very important. I already said that what is the meaning of the research. So if we want to start, we need to think. We know that we are always starting from the Bloom's taxonomy. And we know that everybody can, maybe not, but we say remembering, and after that is going understanding. We need to understand. If we don't understand, so there is no thinking without understanding. And we are using different methods. So different methods for things what we are doing. So like example, if we want to try and get a new idea, we know that we will use brainstorming, brainwriting. Today, a famous method called Scamper. So methods are using for the search, and we need to make this. And for us, give what is our priority, what we want to do. So research is careful, and we say careful search or inquiry is to discover new or collate old facts. Today in the morning, I was already here. I was in the technical session, chairperson, and there were really great, presenting great researchers. And one research scholar said, I already make 2 researches on this topic. Yes, because we are discovering the old things and trying to make something new, a new subject, new course, new investigation. So investigation is very important, and how we will search, on which way we will do. And yes, do we have the real questions? We know to say that from the life, that if we are fulfilled with love for something, what we are doing, we need the love to for everything what we do. We need a passion, so everything other will come. So that is really with this with this research, we can maybe think that we lost so many months, but at the end we see our result. But we need to find the answers. We need to know. We need to know. We need to. We need to define the question, uh, real question, and to get the answers for our problem. So today, really like methods. If we want to do something in entrepreneurship, like we know today that a very famous is going in the world entrepreneurs boot camp, and if we want that boot camp, we need to know the finance modeling, we need to know design thinking, also high-end technology. Without today artificial intelligence or data, deep learning, machine learning, metaverse, we cannot do nothing. So simply, this is really a result, and our results are coming from our knowledge. But our knowledge needs to be new. So that is why we say careful search or inquiry. Everything is inquiry. But before we start, we say we need to plan. After planning, we are doing, and after doing, we are reviewing. So what is a research plan? We are starting from a plan. When we have a good plan is already half of our job. So it can be really in so many forms. We know that also as a business plan can be in so many forms. That is our research plan. So it is a framework, and I can say a guideless to us how to work. And what it has a narrative, it has a concept, it has a timeline, it has a written outline. So that is a document which will we conduct doing our research. And yes, we need to notice every changes, because who says that at the beginning we started corrected? So it can be a short document, but during the time the paper is going bigger. We are making, we like example, we plan that we will have collaborators in our research. Many things that we need to do before this. Also, maybe if we are going to publish in high citated journals, we need also some money to give this for the research area. We know there's so many conferences which we need to pay. So this is also, we need to, in this research plan is coming also the finance plan. I want to say today that after me, we have two amazing doctors, Dr. Rana and Dr. Sovi Ganguly. So like example, Dr. Sovi Ganguly is really doing great in this. There's no part, there's no journal, there's no citation where our great Dr. Sovic isn't. So supporting this, planning this, making the research questions, the hypothesis, giving the aims, objectives. What is the design? What about the research design? What design we will have? Maybe for our research, the design is the most important thing. Nowadays, I'm seeing on the social medias, the bestsellers, that so many are promoting their books, and many of them don't have a good design. So if we don't see a good design, a good concept, a good plan, automatically that will not attract us. We will not go on the Amazon, and that will not be interest for us. So you see today when our great researchers are publishing books, making that the design is very important. So what I say always to my student today, we have that infographics are very important. So during tables, figures, infographics, how will they be planned, and which place will they took, like example in your book, in your journal, or somewhere, how you will do that. So think about this plan each detail. So see here that research planning has the main 8 stages. So we always need to identify the problem. Then we are going to review the literature. After that is setting research questions. So choosing the study design. Then we will decide on the sample design, then collecting the data. So these phases we need to follow. Like example, a good research plan should include the following answers. So like things, basic information or your background. What is the basic information? That is your name, affiliation, topic. So we need to know that. You know, when we are all reviewers, and when we get a paper for review, that we know that uh author always need to have a name, a surname, email, and the main basic information. If don't have affiliation, we make that comment. Please write that. Also, topic. We know that topic is attracting. Topic don't need to be so long. So we also need to have practice that. A brief introduction of our field, motivation of the topic, and that is very important. What are the methods? What are the objectives? So we need to define our questions. So almost all our hypotheses are coming from this research questions. So why we are doing this, on which way we will do this, how will we get the answer? So these are the possible hypotheses. So the hypothesis will always take care about our method, and then we have the results. For our results, we need different things. We need new theories. We can make new solutions. We can make a new design, practical things. So how to do that? How to plan that? So how we will do this in the collection. So result then. And what is important for our results? We don't need the number. Don't have a meaning for us if we don't know to interpret, comment that number. We didn't do nothing. Then timetable. We need to know in which time will we make our research. Sometimes we plan 6 months, sometimes we plan 2 months. It depends what we are doing. So there are now so many researchers who are making so many qualitative researches in very short time. But when you are collecting data and making a quantitative or a mix, it really needs time. So what are your research? What is your topic? What will you bring? Which results will you bring? So what university are you? Are you going to do in telecommunication, in information technology, social science, for the languages? And you need to have a list of references. A list of references. References need to be fresh here, because it means that we are really reading, that we are monitoring, that we are controlling what is happening in the field of science and research. So the main components, we need to know the main components of our research plan. They are conceptualization, methodology, literature review, evaluation, synthesis, and communication. I say and explain each one of this. So research question, describe our question, what is the approach our question, how can we do it, why it is relevant for us, for our topic, who is our audience, communication, who is our audience, who will read this, for who is this interesting. So here, according to the Newbery, in the conceptualization, we need so many skills and disciplines. In the methodology, we need to know that also have the knowledge and skills, and we need to select which method will we carry through our research. So methods are always describing the proceeding and the process. Method is not the same. Pardon. Method is not the same as methodology. So methodology is a study. A method is a way. So what is the difference between a way which we will, and with what we will define our plan? So how will we make our activities? How will we write? How will we keep doing and keep, I could say, keep growing through our paper? Methodology always have a direction, showing us the direction and which way. That is our body. That is our body which we will use in our research. Literature review, reviewing, we know what it means, how after reviewing we will publish the work. And so we have so many, it is good to be a little bit critical, especially because if we are not critical, then we will have everything. So we cannot accept everything. We really are trying to find the best. So in this, when we are doing that, when we are making this, we need to really see every detail. So first, how can we make a review if we don't know about that field? First, we need to learn about the field. Then we need to have the knowledge. How can somebody do a review? So today we have so many journals, so many multidisciplinary journals, and there is a mix of researchers from different fields, and it is not the same to give me something like example, agriculture. I'm not from agriculture. So if I'm from agriculture, I need to have this knowledge. I need to know to make the question. So maybe I'm coming from Croatia. I'm living in a rural part of Croatia. So maybe I know a lot about agriculture because I have a garden. My family, we don't eat nothing, no vegetables, no fruit. We don't buy that. We have our eco food. So I took this like example. So I'm sure that maybe I can do something in that field. But we need to think this. We don't accept the things that you cannot do. If you want to do that, first study, first learn about that, then try to find the question, try to find the answers, focus on that problem. There's always a problem. There is always a reason why we want to do. Then the degrees. Today, in this global world, especially on the social medias, all our doctors all have academic degrees, and they never see the classroom. So try to see the fake, because so many today are not coming from the academics field. So also grant application. Maybe you have opportunity. I already say that we in Europe have so many opportunities, so many grants that we can apply. So that is helping our students to go to learn. We can visit. We are visiting, we are visiting different countries, because we always are trying to find something that we cannot learn in our country. So then we are applicated, and then there, especially, we are smart, and we are always trying to find when is a great conference. So we go when is a conference. We plan it very well. Sources to consult with, we are conducting. Today we have so many things online, so many libraries. We know where in Google Scholar, so many repositories. We are searching them. So our scholars, our peers, everybody. I come to the communication. What is this communication? It will make visual material to express ideas for the presentation, writing, and creating the exhibition. This is really your structure. This is the answer on the beginning when we say inquiry. It is a line of inquiry, and this is that ability to present, write our works. Basic steps in the research are always, I can say, same. We are identifying, developing, trying to do the information, locating, evaluating, taking notes. We start right at the beginning, continue writing our paper, citing everything what we need to take care about. This about the citing, about the authors write about the intellectual property. So the end, we are submitting our research. So these are the main components. Even it depends. It doesn't matter which methodology will we choose. So we always have the introduction, review the method. So we will see which method, what is our method, what is our design, what are the instruments, which data, how will we analyze this, and the ethics. What it means, the ethics. We need to have the ethics, take care about the conduct of ethics and ethics contribution. So after the methods, we are making the body and coming to the end. So you see here questions. This is something that we always need to have on our mind. We cannot. We need all these steps. We need all these steps because this is like like we are climbing on the mountain and we want to go 2 steps up, but we didn't stop on the first step. So, like example, research methods without data collection methods. That is not going. How long should the research proposal be? So you see, we have A, B, C, D, E. This is our ABC. It is from the background to the end. So methods, tools, and techniques are always the way how we will gather the data and collect the information to learn what is changing and what will be happening. What are that? So what is research? We still didn't define the research. This is for us important. This definition is the best definition for the research. Describing, explaining, predicting, and controlling the phenomena. And that phenomena is always observed. We are observing the phenomena. So, will we involve inductive or deductive methods? So, when will we choose inductive and when we will choose the deductive methods? So, if we want this inductive research methods, we will always have this research methods analyze and observe event, and they are associated always with the qualitative researches. Deductive methods are verifying these observations, and they're always with the quantitative analysis. So what are the main characteristics of a research? What a research needs to have? We always need to capture the data, practice ethics and code of conduct. Till we are doing this, when we want to make something, it needs to be very logical, always logical, and real-time data, and we can make predictions. But for the predictions, we need to have the data. We see what is happening now in the world. This climate changes. Now Georgia has before 1 month a big disaster also in my country, in Croatia. So it is hot like never. These few days we have so high temperature. We never have this temperature, and from Monday it is calling the rain. So we know that we will have some kind of the disaster. So this is the thing. This is the main thing. How can we do also the predictions for the economic growth, for the social growth, for these disasters, for everything? So we need to go deep. We need to deep go in. We cannot start like example now and then do it for 1 month. We already lost our time. We lost our time because somebody is already doing that research. So how to make this, how to use the data, how to create, we need that opportunities. We need to make research opportunities. And I will repeat again, we need to be very critical, and to measure that. So these are the purpose of our research: exploratory, descriptive, and explanatory. What is the descriptive? What is the descriptive research? I always say that is like we are going to the doctor and making a blood test. If we want to do something in the something with the data, we always first make this descriptive analysis. We are interested about the correlation, about the standard deviation, variance, about the means. So many things we can at the beginning when we make this descriptive, we get so many main important data. So here I put this. This is the main difference. At the exploratory, the approach is always unstructured. Descriptive has a structured, and explanatory has a highly structured approach. If we're talking about the conduction of the thought, first we here exploratory and descriptive. We are asking the questions, but at the explanatory, we are using the hypothesis. So when we are using the hypothesis for us are always, I can say, coming in the inferential part. In statistics, we call that inferential statistics. So time, early, later, and later. So only the exploratory is going in the early stage. Always remember that our research we can do, and it will be useful if it is valued. What it means valued? Logical. The main word is logical. Then accurate. What it is accurate? We don't need to have without errors, free of errors, reliable. How can we get our results? Then talking about the timely, we need a time frame using and how to manage our time. And complete. Always completed, involve your data, and then make your decision. We come to this research methodology. Research methodology is very, very essential by our authors, by so many authors. We get so many definitions, why we need this, why we gather the information, why we will use techniques. So methodology in research is a systematic method to resolve our research problem. We have a research problem and we want to make them. So at research methods, you see we have the behaviors, instruments, which we will select in the research technique. At research methodology, it is already called a science. So science of understanding something. We say we have a problem. So how will we make this? How will we give the results? So what will you decide? Which data you need, on which way you will collect them, which method you will use, what is the process, how will you conduct the research, how will you plan. So need to plan every step. You need to plan every step using all this what you have, everything what you can find. So then you will design your methodology. Why do you need research methodology? So I explained this. It is a support to you. It is a part that you cannot forget. Without this, you cannot conduct nothing. So having it, it will help you to bring all your, I can say, achieve your goals, bring your aims, achieve these objectives, and collect the methods, make the methods of analyzing and everything. Research papers methodology needs to be a light. It is a light to us. It is bringing us the principles, theories, support. So what is the what we see where most researchers fell? Most researchers fell on this methodology. So which technique, which procedure do you really use? All the techniques you could use in your research, how to design your study. So here is a step. We have a question. So problem, always we want to solve our problem using a question, making the mode and strategy. How can we come that? After question, we will generate our idea. After generating, we will organize our idea and come to that thesis. So this is really following each one: problem, mode, strategy, domain, and techniques. Without this research methodology, and research cannot be conducted. We have this framework for the research methodology. It looks a little bit complex, but it is not. So you see here, problem, we have problem genesis, we have research problem, and we have this information. So what is important? Which mode we will have here? Which strategy? We have so many opinions. Do we do this individual? Will we make it in the group? What method will we use? Will we use, like example, a group will use Delphi method, brainstorming, brainwriting, interviews, review. For empirical, what will we use? Case, maybe some kind of focus. So we need a laboratory. If we talk about the archivas, we know that we have primary and secondary. Primary, from the secondary, we will make the sampling and we will make the scanning. So talking about the analytics strategy, we have here, if we will make a quantitative, we will use mathematical modeling. But if we are doing a qualitative, our modeling will not be, it will be a type of philosophy, generation of the philosophy. So qualitative research always give you the data, and we can make this with many things. We can interpret everything and describe everything what we do. If we talk about the quantitative, this research will help us to find out how many, how much, how often, and what we extend. So here is questions. So I think today, when we are talking about the practice that in theory, nothing without a practice. So these questions like how much, how many, how often, or what. It is better than only describing something or interpreting something. So here we have this flow chart again. So it can be empirical strategy. It can use this framework. It can make this form. It can classify. So which strategy and how will we classify our methodology? So before you start anything, go go through this, always repeat this. You need a knowledge, to start doing anything. So what are the needs you need to include? You see here questions: who, when, what, where, how, why. These questions are always explaining you something, uh, you the answer, advising you, giving you the sampling process, giving you always have some type of limitations. So what are the limitations? What will you include in your needs? So here you see that almost 78% of researches are quantitative, 14% are qualitative, other are 5%, and secondary research are 3%. Why do you need to document your research method? If you don't document your research method, we will think it is a word about poor methodology. So your data will not be organized on the correct way. Especially if we talk about some type of method, you can use different type of methods. So what methodology? I will say again, you can receive this criticism. It can help you to make your. You will have an opportunity to make something. So these places will help you in the following things, these following scenarios, and without understanding your method, and without doing and without using the right one needs to be known. Here we have this quadrant knowledge solution. This is something we are going from the methodology through the process and giving an outcome. What is the primary research and what is the secondary research? What the market today is, what the market is asking. So we need to know the trends. We need to know the challenges. Will we do that on the global level, on the national level? Uh, what are the needs of the market? So product management, planning strategy, technology achieving. In technology, we have so many new challenges. We have so many emerging trends in technology. So market, you have here the market look and forecast. So here again, so we are talking about the forecasting. We are talking about the predictions. We need to know what the market is asking. So why it is important to say that where the demand and supply are meeting. So products, vendors, technologies, everything. Think on this. What is your methodology? What process will you use? And what is your outcome? What is your outcome? How will you make it? How are you going, and which are your position? So we have here come to this research method. So I will go very quickly because I already explained each one. We will repeat qualitative research, quantitative research, and mixed research. Quantitative deals with numbers and measurable forms. Qualitative is collecting data. Mixed, we have different type of mix, and it is integrating the both qualitative, both quantitative, and we have this PubMed regulation. Here, let us see what are the basic differences when we compare qualitative and quantitative. The main are degree of flexibility, what data collection instruments, which questions. So here you see at qualitative research, you always start with what or how. At quantitative, you will start with how, what, and why. Then at qualitative, you need to identify the main argument. At the quantitative, you always have independent and dependent variables. So these types of questions and the sub-questions. Research methodology in formal research. How to write a research methodology. Now that you have understand all about the research methodology, you need to go and write your research methodology using the steps. So these are the steps. First step is determine your methodological approach, writing your research methodology. Try to give an explanation without explanation and which type of data you need. This is your methodological approach. Quantitative, qualitative, primary, secondary, you need to give the answer. After is coming, outline the methods of data collection. What are the steps of data collection? Quantitative methods data collection include experiments, surveys, literature, what you already have, something existing. But here, qualitative, you will have these focus groups, interviews, and the literature. The third is outline the methods of analysis. Why this step? Because you will use it in the research and it will again conduct your research. It will help you. It will help you for your chosen methodology. Then the fourth is justify your choices. What it means, the final step is to make an evaluation and to justify your choices. So your knowledge, your limitations, your weaknesses, your strength, everything is here and it will come to. So research methodology is a large topic. We need to know also to design a research method. So again, designing research methods, it is a huge, huge topic. So the main thing is that we really need to focus on the things that we want to define and our objective of research. So writing your research paper methodology, giving the perspectives, giving some types, trying to find the problems. And we come to this research onion model. So this is model that we need to understand. So if we talk about if we have the philosophy, approaches, strategy, choices, then the time horizons, techniques, and different types of the procedures. So collecting our data, collecting the analyze, making this, doing this experiment, survive, we will use this onion model. How to write an effective methodology. So always introduce your method, establish your connection, and write your question. Try to find your instruments, discuss your analyze, and provide your information. If we have a sample, what we will use, which statistics, what we need for our research, what method will we use, how will we address. So avoid making these sessions, avoid irrelevant details, take care about the ethics, take care about the ethical principles of research, so we know who are researchers, who are participants, take care about the integrity, competence, justice, dignity, then responsibility, honesty, autonomy, privacy, and confidentiation. And choose a research methodology. Choose a research methodology. And this is the theory. So basic paradigms in social research qualitative. I will stop here with my presentation today.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Really, we had an awesome and splendid session, ma'am. My heartfelt gratitude to Nataratavik, ma'am. Ma'am, we understood why you have such a lengthy profile. The way you explained how a researcher should be and the basics of research and what are the details we should give in qualitative and quantitative research and the components of research. and how a researcher should follow the research ethics. Ma'am, definitely will follow your guidelines and advice, and you can, in this session, I can assure you that everyone will become a good ethical research, ma'am, as you ask for your advice. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. And the slides you have prepared and you have explained that gave a very crystal clear clarity to every one of us. Now, I request the participants, you can, if you have any queries, you can ask from ma'am. I think based on ma'am's explanation, there will not be any queries, but even then you can ask. We have such a great person over here.
Yeah, I have a question to ask this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yes, my name is Ibrahim Haruna. I'm speaking from Finland. Thank you, Doc. I mean, it's refreshing listening to your biography. It was more than 5 minutes being read, and you have really done a lot. And you need to be really pat at the back. I am so impressed, and such people like you, I mean, motivate me to do more. Um, my question to you is, you really gave us a very elaborative presentation, and congratulations to that, and very meticulous. Looking at your presentation on the types of research, quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods, as 21st century researchers across the globe, are we being influenced by the institutions that we work, or it is our individual choices, or it is the type of research that we are doing that gives us that informed decision to use a particular type of research, quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method? Because I am in Finland. Finland does a lot of qualitative research. That is why I'm asking you that per your institutions that you work in your university, is it a policy that geared towards we are qualitative researchers, we are quantitative researchers, or we are mixed method? And at what point in time that decision as researchers must be taken?
So you say about this, at our university. So what will we make? Which type will we choose? It again depends about the field of our interest. There's so many researchers that are interested in different types of field. So, for like example, for your university, we know that we need to make, we have a number, we in like me, we have a number of the researches of the conferences or what we need to do for our professional growth for going, but other are our interests who nobody cannot nobody can say nada, you cannot do that type of research. So that is a differentiation. You need to do for your work what you need to do, but if you are interested and that is your specialization, you will always do what you are interested. So even if you are a theoretical, if you like more doing qualitative research, so like example, maybe anthropology, sociology, but if we want to do something in the field of technology, uh, entrepreneurship or something, we need to make a mixed research. We cannot only choose doing qualitative or only quantitative. It depends about what is our research, what we are doing, what questions do we want, what is our problem. So
Okay, yeah. This is a quick follow up to your response. Fantastic response. I really appreciate the explanation.
thank you,
But this is
Karuna.
yes,
You always ask something, Karuna, and you are always with us.
yes. I have one question to ask a follow with a follow up to her answer. Assuming this is a scenario, assuming you are being sponsored by an organization, and this organization wants you to do a research on a particular type of research, maybe quantitative, qualitative, or mixed method. Can this
Okay.
influence? Thank you. Can
Thank
this influence your decision? Thank you.
You know, like example, when my professor say, Nada, will we do that? We are going to that conference. We have this topics. Let us choose. Maybe sometimes Nada was not interested about that. But when we start working, especially if it is a paid project and it gives you a bigger motivation, we do it. So there's nothing that we cannot make any research, any field. So I can do. I'm always interested in different things. So
तो खुद बोलो.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Hel-
much.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Hello. My name is Seema. I'm a research scholar. First of all, thank you so much for providing the enlightened knowledge to all of us. Thank you so much, ma'am. My little question is for you. I wanted to know about the difference between the directional hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. If there is any difference, ma'am, then how we can differentiate it?
Nada, ma'am. Shailaja, ma'am. Is Nata Rotwik, ma'am, is there in the session, ma'am?
She left the meeting. Maybe she's facing some technical glitches. So yes, Nada ma'am. Nada ma'am is here.
Nada, ma'am. Nada, ma'am, here you are getting one more question, ma'am.
yeah, I
Hello?
didn't hear the question. Yes, I didn't hear the question. Yes, Dr. Seema, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I wanted to know the difference between the alternative hypothesis and directional hypothesis, ma'am.
About the alternative and what hypothesis which you want to do, what are you using alternative. So sometimes when we make our hypothesis and when we go reject, accept or not, so we me I'm changing that in the steps sometimes, because when I cannot find the data or something when if something stop us, we are changing that. So we can have both. We can have both hypotheses in our work, but at the end, we will decide what will we put in our research.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Dr. Khan, maybe Dr. Khan have a maybe did you hear the question, Dr. Khan? Dr. Khan, you don't hear me. Thank you, Dr. Seema. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your great answers for the questions raised by the participants. And ma'am, really your session was very much inspirational and great inspiration towards the researchers to do a good research also, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again.
Thank you, Dr. Makalaksha. Thank you, and thank you for today's session, Dr. Vasudeva and Dr. Makalan, all here today. Thank you. Today is my second time here on the Zoom. It's me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. If time permits, we'll be expecting to our country, India, ma'am, in person.
Yes, I hope one day will come. Yes, because Dr. Shailia is my great sister, big friend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, we'll go for yet another session, second session with Dr. Thiram Razakon. Now it's time to introduce our second session's guest.
Good evening, all. I'm profusely overjoyed to take the opportunity to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Thiram Raza Khan, for the second session. Dr. Thiram Raza Khan is working as senior academician at Jamia Hamdard, Delhi. He has over 26 years of rich experience and has done PhD in the field of software engineering, computer graphics, machine and deep learning, big data analytics, cybersecurity, and IoT. He has been actively involved in training and placement activities as head and has offered consultancies to 15 plus companies. He has over 20 international and Indian patents and copyrights against his name. He has written over 20 books and 30 book chapters. He has more than 75 research papers in SEI, Scopus, Springer, and peer-reviewed journals. He has so far been involved with 55 plus invited talks and more than 25 keynote addresses. He is a famous international speaker. He is an associate editor at International Journal of End User Computing and Development and reviewer at Springer, Nature, and International Journal of Engineering Research and Technology. He is a senior member of IEEE, CSI, and ISTE. We are so honored to have him as a guest speaker. May I now request Dr. Thiram Reza Khan to proceed with the session. So please.
Yeah, very good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
So you are audible.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mirthula. Thank you, Dr. L. Mahalakshmi, for giving me the opportunity. And thank you, Dr. Nada. Been a privilege listening to you. Your talk was wonderful. And in fact, you have covered all the topics of research and none of the topic was left. My topic is very different. I'll be touching smart cities from the perspective of computer science. So permit me to have my session first, and then I'll take every question that you pose to me. I'll definitely be taking in the last 5-10 minutes. So I'll just ask after sharing my screen once more. I'll ask if I am audible and visible also. Yeah, give me a minute, please. Once I'm asking once again, am I audible and is my screen visible? Can someone tell me?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir. You're very much audible, but your screen is.
You are audible, sir.
The screen? Is the
Yes, sir.
screen visible?
Sir, your screen is fine. You can move on.
Okay, thank you. So if during the presentation, if it stops or there is any disturbance, you can always tell me. But for the time being, please keep your mics on the mute button. It will really help. So today, let me thank for this opportunity to attend FDP of such a magnitude. I think this is a privilege to me. So many wonderful teachers. I find 110 plus teachers here, professors in fact, and very patiently listening to the sessions. Dr. Nada was wonderful. She was very precise in telling about research. What is the research process? How do we start the research plan? Then how do we go for the methodology? How do we prepare synopsis? And then we carry out the method and then with our results and all. So she was very precise in her appreciation, in her illustration. So my task for today is, hello. Someone is putting the mic on. Please keep your mics on. So the topic here is the role of artificial intelligence in smart cities, a very relevant topic because we are aiming for smart cities. It has been said by our honorable prime minister that we should be having 100 smart cities in India. So we are aiming for this research. So this is a research which is currently gaining a lot of importance. So it's about developing research systems using the research methodology. We are going to be talking how artificial intelligence and computer technology is helping us in this scene. What we are going to be looking at, and I'll be talking about research in between. What languages are we using? We are using Python. What are the libraries we are using? I understand that there's so many people from non-technical backgrounds, so I'll try to keep it very simple for them. So in question and answers, if you find want to talk about implementation, you can definitely ask any question that you feel like. So the role of artificial intelligence in smart cities. This is one area where we are having a lot of research right now. We want to make our cities smarter. We want to have smart parking. We want to have smart waste management. We want to have smart lighting. We want to have smart healthcare. We want to have everything smart in our cities so that the life becomes easy transportation and all. So let me start it. So artificial intelligence is a field in computer science which deals with creating machine intelligence. So if we are able to generate intelligence into a machine, this is artificial intelligence. So every time now we are talking about artificial intelligence, we are starting artificial intelligence in our course curriculum from class 8th now. That is because we want to inculcate this research right at the start into the students. The students should be comfortable with AI. So by the time they are into graduation, they can take research projects, they can work on research programs and can go into different. 3 days back, we had a wonderful event in India where everyone celebrated, and that was the launching of landing of Chandrayaan 3 on the moon. And we were the first proud country to reach the moon. So how was it possible? Why no one else was able to do it, and why have been we have been able to do it now? So that is a question. So that is what we are going to discuss today. It has been the research. It has been the research and the help of artificial intelligence, the algorithms, the real-time analytics type of a research, which is giving us the real data as we are moving on the moon, moving closer to the moon. We are getting data. Our servers are working on that data, and so on. So everything now is being controlled by this. We are all comfortable. We all know about Alexa. We want to we have our kids at home who say, Alexa, what is 2 plus 2? And the answer is 4. Alexa, play a song. We sit into our cars and we have Google Maps. We get the shortest path. What is that? That is all research where artificial intelligence is doing wonders. Driverless cars, autonomous cars. So let us be slightly patient. We'll be talking about that kind of a research, the use of research that AI is involved in. So it is an important technology nowadays that support our daily social and economic activities. Smart cities use data sensors, actuators, small devices, wireless communication to generate and gather big data. So now the things have changed. We are talking about smart cities. We know about data sensors. We'll be working on that. We'll be talking more of that. Deployment of AI in smart cities, it will be a daunting task. So as we have been given this task by our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, this is the deployment of AI in smart cities. This is the latest research area which is getting so much prominence. Everyone wants to take a lead into this. But the challenges are there. Challenge is that most of the AI resources and power are limited to few companies. Only few companies are having that power in their hand. And the name of those companies are Microsoft, Google, Facebook. They are the masters of this field. So the part is here is we want to train our students. We want to train our students, our researchers, our engineers, and so that they come up with a research, that research make us proud. So we'll be working on that today. Next 45 minutes, 45 minutes, we'll be basically talking about those algorithms. We'll be talking about those methodology, and we'll come up with a research plan finally. So universities and educational institutions like us, we are all from universities and educational institutes. So like institutions like us should fast track AI courses and put an effort in the field to get a better workforce and AI system. So we have to work a lot on that. AI should transform into a utility available to all. It should be available to all, the rich and the poor, the affluent and the middle class also, to a rich country and to a poor country, to a developing country. Let me once again take a new point here, because we have been talking about sustainable growth. UN has set the goals for us, and the goals are very clear. By 2030, we have to follow all those sustainability development goals. So one of these goals, all of these goals, they are made possible because they are taking the help of artificial intelligence. They are taking the help of blockchain. They are taking the help of IoT. They are taking the help of different kind of technology. So these technology that we have, the changing technology, this is important. So what we want is AI should transform into a utility available to all. It will become as normal as cloud computing. Now clouds are so familiar. We are so familiar to the clouds now. Our space on the laptop, our space on the mobile, it is about to get filled up. It's about to exhaust, and we buy some space from the cloud, some MB space from the cloud. We all know that, and every one of us is doing it. We are all having smartphones. We are all having smart gadgets. So we are buying that cloud uh, space from the different vendors. So within next in 4 to 5 years, what we should intend is AI should be getting more and more into our lives. And what kind of a research we are going to do, we are going to discuss in next half an hour. So just focus on the red part of it. The advancement in the field of machine learning and deep learning are creating a paradigm shift in almost all sectors of technological industries, with the use of applications like Siri, AlphaGo, Alexa. As I just said, Alexa is gaining so much popularity these days. Every household has Alexa. Alexa, do this. Alexa, do that. Google Assistant, you ask a Google Assistant to do your work for you, create a Word document, and blah, blah. So there's so many things. We are doing it in our daily lives with the help of artificial intelligence and the technology. This is one figure which I always give in my presentations whenever I'm talking about artificial intelligence, big data, or the smart cities. If you look at the left-hand side, we have lots of data. Now the data is no longer called the data. Data, for all those non-technical people also, we are all making use of social media, Twitter, Netflix, and social media sites, different sites. So we are making use of big data. So no longer we are dependent on a floppy drive, on a pen drive. Now we have clouds and clouds of data. So this big data is structured and unstructured both. Now here the challenge is it is unstructured also. Not every data can be similar. That data has to be stored in database servers. So data generation and data stored is done on the left-hand side of it. Right-hand side, you see, you have the role of artificial intelligence. We have algorithms, AI algorithms. We have best of processors, algorithms, and they are working on this data, which we have just got. This comes under data processing. So you are processing the data that you have just got. So just now, if some of you must have read the newspapers 2 days back, and it was like 600 plus terabyte of data has been sent by Chandrayaan-3 to the Earth, to our servers, Indian servers. So just imagine 10 to the power 14 times. That is terabyte. So such an amount of data is being sent in just 3 days by Chandrayaan. So that data, when it comes to the servers, it will have to be processed. And then we should be getting the answers on the exactly on the right hand side. We should be having the predictive answers, like asking Alexa, what is 2 plus 2? It will give 5. So similarly, I want to know which of my marketing strategies are doing the best. I'm going to ask my system, which of my marketing strategy is doing good, and it will give me the screen full of data. So this is the combination of artificial intelligence, big data, other converging technologies. As we are making use of blockchain, we are making use of IoT, we are making use of you have federated learning. So everything is coming into the picture. And when everything is coming into the picture, now you would say, sir, everything was with us 20 years back also. Why is it that everything is coming at the correct place now? It is because now we have the best of technology. We have the best of processors in the world. We have the best of memory now with us. We have the best of algorithms, and we have the best of brains with us. Definitely, we are taking a giant leap. So this giant leap is not going to stop here. We have already announced, our Prime Minister already announced, ISRO has already announced, we are going to venture for the sun now. So next month onwards, we are into looking after the sun now. After the moon, we are after the sun now. So this is one diagram. Now my discussion will become very easy, so that because since it is for everyone here, there's so many people who are non-technical also. So don't be afraid. I'll take up your questions also towards the end. So this is where AI is being used. And this is where you have to train your students. You have to train your students to research on these things. Banking. Banking is one area where AI is coming up in a large way. Banking, finance, gaming, PUBG, chess you are playing on the internet. So gaming industry is making use of artificial intelligence. Your kids must be playing PUBG, other games, and other tracking games also. So they are making use of artificial intelligence. Gaming industry was never such a hit, but nowadays gaming industry is picking up because it is making use of artificial intelligence. Autonomous vehicles, again, if you have gone to metros in big cities in India, or in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or America, you must have seen self-driving cars, you must have seen autonomous cars. Now there's so many cars in India which are top-end cars, like the door can only open when you touch the door of the car, the door opens. So such is the technology, such is the power of AI. So this is where AI is getting into the groove now, taking your life to a different level. Marketing. Marketing is one field where AI is doing wonders. There's so many researchers getting into this. Let me give you one example. You are buying a pair of jeans, and as soon as you buy a pair of jeans, there are so many different companies logos this pop up. We are offering jeans at this much money, this jeans is for this much money, and so on. So there are 10, 15 different companies now at your screen, and now you are they have put you in a doubt. Which one should I buy? So this concept is called, in computer terminology, this concept is called recommender systems. So they are the recommendations given by that recommender system. That again is the use of artificial intelligence. This is where our students are working. If you are from engineering colleges, your students are already working on these applications. They're already into this research. Agriculture. If you are from South, rich farmers from the South, from Punjab, rich farmers, I would say, they are all making use of IoT. They are all making use of artificial intelligence in agriculture. As soon as the water dries up, there is a message on the terminal. There's a message on the mobile. It goes to the farmer. You have to water your plants now. You have to water your crop now. Moisture is going down. Soil is coming to a low level. There would be a beep. All kind of messages will come to you, whether they are the signals, alarms, or whether they are the routine messages to you. But agriculture is taking a lot of help, and this is where maximum researchers are now concentrating on. There are so many organizations in India who are looking for the researchers who can work on agriculture. So if you are a technocrat, if you are a BTech student, if your students are from that field, you can definitely ask them to take up this research area. This is one of the best areas, which India being a agricultural country, this is one very big area. Ride sharing applications is one area where we are all using, our kids are using. They no longer want cars from us. They are taking using Uber bikes, Uber cabs. There are different options available. We can share the rides. Then chatbots are there. Chatbots, you go to any website, you go to any application in the world, you start that application, and there something will pop up on your screen. Can I help you? May I help you? So that is another application area of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is moving into all our social life. In our practical life, it is everywhere. You all must have been going to hospitals. God forbid you don't go to the hospitals, but if you have gone to the hospitals, you must have seen we are talking about intelligent, smart healthcare. From anywhere in the hospital, from your even from your home or from your workplace, you can get connected to your hospital. Everything is at your monitor. You can make every decision that you want to make sitting from here. Many of us, we are there's so many advertisements across the roads which talk about robotic surgery. Now the surgeons are using robots to perform the surgeries and all. So all these fields, AI powered predictions, all these fields, they what do they want from us? They want our students who are technical students who can get into these fields and make use of AI to be making our country proud, coming up with different good solutions. So these are the applications with which we are all familiar. We are looking at them in daily life. Every day we are having this experience. Even if you pick up your phone, a smartphone, you will have so many of the things there inbuilt into this. So smart cities would be is our concept now. We want to make cities which are equal for everyone. There's equal distribution of electricity, equal distribution of power. There is no waste littered here and there. So we are going to be looking for efficient city. So we are going to work on this. Let me first take this, and then we'll discuss more on that. Our being I've again said India is really proud of being an agricultural country, and we are really making use of, and we are becoming the superpower of the world. This is because our technocrats, our students, our engineers, they're really working hard. They're really doing the research in proper research in all of this. So what is driving the smart city paradigm? Why did the Prime Minister say that we should be having the cities, 100 cities first in first go? Why make only 100 cities as a smart city? Why do we want our cities to become smart? So what are the forces that are driving this? So square, the rectangles that you see in red color or orange color, these are the forces that are compelling us to go into this, that is compelling to go into this research. So, what is the first point? Inadequate infrastructure. We are a big country, 140 crore people here, even more than that. So, inadequate infrastructure means that we have very large population, and still there are villages, there are remote villages. Infrastructure wise, we are still inadequate because of that population. So, we will have to pick up, we will have to gain the pace, we'll have to now by 2030 we will have to put everything in order. So inadequate infrastructure is the first thing that is driving the smart city concept. Growing urbanization is a second one. Growing urbanization, people they move from villages to small cities, from small cities to bigger cities, from bigger cities to metro. So this is the kind of urbanization that is taking place. So what do we need to do? We will have to make our cities compatible. We'll have to make our cities adhere to these requirements. So how can these requirements we can make them? So that's what our research is on. That's what we are going to discuss today in the next 20-25 minutes. Logistic solutions we have to get, smart buildings we have to prepare. These are the forces driving it. Smart grid is related to your energy, to your power consumption. So now we see there are little power cuts in India. 20 years back, 50 years back, there were lots of power cuts. Now, even if you go to a small town or a small village, electricity is there. That is because now we are working on we have a smart grid, we have equal distribution. So even the rich is getting the services, the poor is getting the services, the middle class is getting the services. So again, if we take this to UN sustainability goals, UN says every country in the world has to prosper. Every country in the world has to be on the growth path. It has to be a sustainable growth. We cannot just say America and the big countries, they should progress, and the other countries, developing countries, they shouldn't progress. No, UN has put these goals, like every one of us will have to come up by 2030. We have to meet all these ends. There should be no unequal distribution of anything. If we are talking about equality, so that equality, if you keep in mind, a smart city is one of those research areas which is helping us in achieving those sustainability goals. So if I call my smart city, I'll call it sustainable smart city. So we are looking for sustainable smart cities in India and in the world. So these were the forces. We're going to be talking a lot about them. Smart cities, real-time implementations. Now, these are the implementations which are my students are doing as researchers. My colleagues, researchers are doing it. They are working on these fields. Different universities, they are working on these parameters and on these applications, implementations. And we are coming up with wonderful solutions. Though we can say we are coming with tits and bits, small solutions, but these solutions by 2030 will come into shape, and it will give you one example of a complete smart city at your disposal. So let me take them one by one. What do we mean if we say all of these rectangles, red rectangles there? Healthcare by mistake has been taken twice. Let me talk about healthcare. uh, our researchers, our students are working on healthcare, and they are working on every aspect of this research. They are doing research into smart healthcare. Now, when they are working on it, they are working on cancer diseases. They are working on diabetes. They're working on uh, different diseases that are coming up, the drug discovery and all. So everything is coming under this research. So there is a large scope of this. Let me tell you, as a researcher, if you are looking for some topic in computer science, healthcare would be the best topic. Just download 10 to 12 papers from the internet on healthcare, smart healthcare, and just go through them if you want to do on healthcare. And I tell you, you would say, I'm going to do from this field only. If you are interested to do research in agriculture, just download 10 to 12 papers, read those papers thoroughly, compare them, and then come up with a literature review. You can come up with a conference. If some conference is coming up, please write a review paper on the topic of interest that is with you. So if you can publish that review paper on your topic of interest, I'm telling you, by the time your topic finalization is done, and by the time you have your first uh, presentation to your head and to your research supervisor, you will be 100% sure, I'm going to do this, and this is going to be achieved by using these AI algorithms. So such is the help. I'll give you my mail ID. You can always connect if you are from computer science and you are trying to work on these things. You can definitely be connected. I have over 30 patents which are basically on these healthcare, agriculture, blockchaining. I have 30 plus patents with me. I have 22 computer science books. I have 135 research papers, out of which 25 are SCI papers. So if you need any help, I'm always ready to help. I'm always ready to contribute. I am there on internet everywhere. If you search with my name, I'm there. My interviews on at All India Radio, 5 interviews at All India Radio are there on the internet. My podcast interviews are there, Dr. Ehtaram Raza Khan, and you will get to work, know what I am doing. So it is basically collaboration. The word is collaboration, as Dr. Nada said. One important component of research is collaboration. You will have to combine with the world. You will have to take the world into your support. So if you're working on a paper and if you write to some researcher, I'm working on this paper, I need your inputs, 100% he's going to ping you back. Okay, give me your inputs. I'm definitely helping. There are so many researchers who say, I'll fund your papers. You send me your manuscript, I'll fund it. So don't hesitate and collaborating, because collaboration is the word. And with collaboration, you are reaching the world scenario. As Dr. Nada is with us, we are all working in tandem. We are all in one group, and we are working on these research aspects, either at IIU or our universities. I'm from Jamia Hamdard. So coming back to this topic, if we look, healthcare is one research area in smart cities, which is of utmost importance because we have already felt the shock in Corona period. Deficiency of beds were not there, oxygen was not there. So we have to work on these researches, and everyone is going to promote you. If you put a research proposal to some hospital, I am working on this. Let me tell you, it's not about computer science only. If you are from statistics, if you are from operation research, if you are from any other mathematical field, you can have your mathematical model formulated. As Dr. Nada said, it can be your quantitative research also. It's not only about computer science. You can give your proposal to concerned authorities. You can give your proposal, even if it is with the mathematics solution, even if it's from the humanities perspective. You can give your research paper. So coming back to my topic, healthcare is one field. Smart parking. Smart parking is one of a major challenge in India because parking space is very low, and as soon as we reach a parking lot, we come to know the guard is telling us, the person is telling us it's already full. So we are looking for parking somewhere at other place. But why can't we have a situation like this? We are 5 minutes away from the parking, and 5 minutes away from the parking, still driving, and we get a message onto our mobile phone, onto our dashboard, into our car. We get a message, and the message is this parking is already full. Now please divert to some other parking. It happens with Google Maps. When we set the path, it keeps on guiding us. So smart parking is one solution, is one research area where researchers are really working upon to make smart parking a possibility in India. There's so many colleges, so many universities, hospitals now. You go to their gate and they will tell you it's already full. Please take your car back. So you are searching for another option. They also even give the solution. It's not available here, go to Lajpat Nagar. It's not available here, go to that gate. And so smart parking is one solution on which our students, our researchers, our technocrats are working on. Smart lighting. Now, smart lighting is again a concept where the lighting, as soon as it gets dark, electricity should be there. When it is daylight, the sun is rising, lighting should be going off. So smart lighting, like it happens in Switzerland and all, we are working on that. Is still fighting, is still researching on it, is still struggling to find the solutions. But I was going through 10 cities in India, Indore, Nagpur, then Gujarat, in Surat and all. They have this smart lighting, which is operational. In Lucknow, it is operational. So we are working. We have about 7-8 years time, and everyone will take our proposal. If we send the proposal, I'm going to work on this, they'll really take you seriously. The last point on this screen is very relevant to India and to small countries. Smart pollution monitoring system. There's a lot of pollution in India, a lot of pollution in our surrounding countries, in cities, inner cities, a lot of pollution. So we have to fight this pollution. AI is one field which is going to fight for you. So AI solutions are coming up. If you are going through newspapers, I think we are professors and we daily go through newspapers. Fine. So a day back, I was just going through Times of India, and I read a news article in a newspaper, and the article was at G20 summit, which is going to take place in India next month, 8th to 10th of September. So in that G20 summit, we are using smart cameras, smart surveillance systems, and they are making use of artificial intelligence algorithms. So AI algorithms are even helping us with that security of the city. So this and the system is there, but we are going to be using artificial intelligence and the high-end solutions. So these are the implementations on which our researchers are working, our students are working, our best of engineering colleges, they are already working on this. They have given the solutions. So AI in smart cities, just the red part of it, just read this. Currently, smart cities deploy Internet of Things, IoT, Internet of Drones, cloud computing, edge computing, and other technologies. So they are being used. Drone is a new word here. So drone is one thing which we are really finding it a venue of research. We are. It's just that even if we go to a marriage ceremony, in that marriage ceremony also we have the drone taking the photographs. So our Prime Minister has been very enthusiastic about using drones at the border. So we are constantly having a vigil on the enemies who are trying to enter into our territory. So all these things, IoT, Internet of Drones, cloud computing, they are all making our research challenging. So challenges to converge these technologies, challenges to put all these technology into one piece, into one plug. So on Internet of Things, we are all using Internet of kind of things in our daily life. You go to a mall, fine. You go to a mall, the door is open, the door is closed, and as soon as you reach that door and you are slightly away from the door opens up. IoT sensor, data sensor is there. So that IoT sensor, this is the need of the hour now. Uh, there are so many films in which there is advertisement. Someone is driving a car and then he stops at his building, and as soon as he gets down the car and reach the gate of the building, the gate opens up. The gate understands that it is the owner who has come. Again, the use of sensors. Goes inside the house. He doesn't have to switch on the lights now. No longer are we switching on the lights. As soon as we enter, the light, according to the uh, lights, according to our requirement, the electricity and the lighting and all, according to our requirements, it get lights up. 1, 2, 3, 4 tube lights open. And if I leave that drawing room, I go into my bedroom, the lights, they go off. So this is the kind of advancement that is taking place. And this is where the challenge really lies. And the challenge that we have at hand will be countered, will be done in by AI, artificial intelligence. So again, coming to this, I'll have this figure again. I've tried to keep it very simple for all those people who are new timers to this, because first lecture we have already taken on research. We have talked about different things about research. So now we are talking about the areas where India is really doing very well and it's really on the path of success. So coming to it, the applications of AI in smart cities, I told you advanced security camera. Just now I gave you the news. In Times of India, there was an article, and that article says at G20 summit, we are going to use advanced security cameras. जिसको कहते हैं हिंदी, they call it परिंदा भी पर नहीं मार सकता. So advanced security camera, advanced surveillance system. And needless to say, if you break the law, the traffic law, the challan comes to your home, there is instant message onto your mobile. You have skipped the red light, traffic light, and there is a fine of $5,000. So pluses there, the negatives are also there. Smart waste management. Now, this is one field which is very prominent in India, because being agricultural land, being a city of villages, we have lots of waste. Similarly, in cities also, there is a lot of waste there. Waste is what in Hindi you call it kura karkat. So waste or the byproducts of it. So smart waste management, this is one area on which our researchers are really working. And let me tell you, let me remind you, you must have seen that in your cities also, that if your dustbins are having sensors, IoT sensors, as soon as the dustbin they get filled up, they're full, there the message should beep to the Nagar Nigam, to the MCD, whichever is the concerned authority. The message will beep there and it will say, this dustbin is full, this area dustbin is full. The van will come and take up that trash. So smart waste management is a need of the hour, and we are really working on it. There are 10, 12 cities who have already implemented this. So smart waste management, we are going in phases now. Advanced flying objects, as I said, the use of drones and all for security purposes. face detection cameras. As soon as you enter your classroom, it detects your face. You enter your university, detects your face, and marks your attendance. So there are so many things that are taking place. Last point on this slide is transportation. Now, this is one point which I always wanted to discuss from slide number 1. Transportation in a big country like India has always been a challenge. Still, if I go to some place from one point to the other point in the city, let's say in Delhi itself, Delhi is the capital of India, and if I have to reach from point A to point B, I'm taking auto or a e-rickshaw or a metro and then a taxi. So transportation is a problem, and just think about the smaller cities. Transportation would always be difficult for such a large population. So this is where I say sustainable smart cities, sustainable cities. Sustainable cities will go for roads in all the cities of India. Proper balance of roads, proper electricity, proper waste management, and you should be able to reach your destination easily. Again, UN comes into the role. The role is everything has to be sustainable. It has to be inclusive growth. So a new word is coming into my lecture, that is inclusive growth. Inclusive growth says everyone has to be a part of this success. Everyone has to be a part of this, what you're calling smart city. Everyone should reap the advantages. So advantages are far too many as compared to the drawbacks, which we'll also discuss. And then I'll talk about the research aspects again. This is basically the theory for what we have on slides in red rectangles. So we are in smart cities, we have advanced camera systems and surveillance system. We should be working on that. Transportation industry is gaining a lot in smart cities because traffic flow has been a big problem. And in a smart city, there shouldn't be any jams, there shouldn't be any horning and all, honking here and there. So application of AI for development of intelligent transport system is essential. I'm reading the last point. So please read the last point. Application of AI for development of intelligent transport system is essential because it can solve problems like traffic congestion, overcrowding, environmental degradation, etc. in a smart city. So one more point comes up, and that point is environmental degradation. So again, come back to the UN rules, goals, say, goal 15 to 16 goals that they have set. They have said CO2 emission should not be there. So the emissions that are coming out of your vehicles because of jams and because of the overcrowding and all has to stop. So if you all must be aware about it, we are using electric cars now. There are charging points in your cities now. You call smart charging. So you park your car to the roadside, wherever there is a parking lot, wherever there is charging facility, you charge your vehicle. So with the without the use of diesel and petrol, they are promoting CNG. So CNG again is low on your emissions. So transportation industry, with the help of AI, is benefiting a lot. Researchers are working on it. Autonomous flying objects for overhead vision. We have already discussed drones and all. Face detection cameras, public safety. We have already talked about it. Everywhere there are cameras in our smart cities, and those cameras are going to pick up. If there is any untoward incident, it's going to pick up the person from the spot. Smart waste management and the disposal system. You have to pick up the trash from a dustbin and to dump it at a place where it can be recycled for efficiency. So coming back to my concept, um, I'll next 10 minutes I'll finish it up for Swamik Bhai also. He should be having sufficient time. So benefits of being what would be the benefits? It has to be what we are getting: optimized energy and water management, more accessible transport system, positive impact on environment, low emissions, advanced security and safety of the public. We are relying on to this. So everything is now coming, and these are the research areas on which we are really working. So good impact on the environment, we have already talked about it. Optimized energy and water management, greater accessibility to transport system, all possible because of this. 24/7. AI-powered smart cities are equipped with high-end smart cameras which help in 24/7 surveillance of areas under scanner. And we are having in fact, we are having the best of cameras now. They are not blurred cameras and all. So our laptops, our mobiles, the cameras installed on the roads and at sites, they have wonderful cameras now. So everything comes at a cost. There are challenges. The challenges that our researchers will have to counter, will have to fight with infrastructure and cost. It really costs to develop it, but India being a very developed country now, one of those developed countries where we have lots of money now, we can invest into this. Security and privacy concern is there. Somewhere when we have IoT sensors installed everywhere, cameras installed everywhere, it can affect your privacy. You can come in, your pictures can come in from different sections and all. So slightly privacy concern, a challenge, a risk of socialization. Again, it should reach, this challenge should reach to everyone. The solutions, the benefits should go to everyone. So infrastructure and cost, security, privacy, risk of socialization. Let me summarize then. A smart city is the future of our cities. The smart city concept is being adopted and implemented by most countries worldwide. AI will help smart city engineers, organizers, and caretakers to check and maintain these cities and the use cases. So if I summarize, we have a lot of research options when we are working on this concept. In AI, if you have your students, please try and make them comfortable with these concepts, try and make them work on these concepts, and this will really make us proud in the coming 7, 5, 6 years, when our prime minister has said we have to be a wish guru. So if we have to become the wish guru, we'll have to adopt these changes and take up these research challenges. So I'm stopping my sharing here. I'll come face to face with you, and next 5 minutes you can ask your questions to me. I'm just coming onto the main screen. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute to have a water. Just I'm coming back on the mic. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to have water. Yeah. So I'm ready for your questions now. If you have any question, you can ask. Am I audible again?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. Participants, you can come up with your questions.
Swabik sir, a very good evening, Swabik sir.
Good evening, sir.
I have always been a big fan of yours, always been following your research. Yeah. Very good to see you today on cam. Yeah. I'll be listening to your talk. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So anyone, if you have any question, please ask.
Dear
Amneet,
participants,
yes, Amneet, you
Good
can.
evening, sir.
Good evening.
So it's a very interesting take, and I think I'm a research scholar in English, and this is the first time that I've come across something in this smart cities and AI. That's a very good presentation that you gave. I think I want to know, this is just a personal question. I'm not questioning your presentation. What
Yeah.
does this, how do these smart cities and AI empowered cities deal with the safety of women? What can we do about this? Because this is an important thing if we
Well,
come.
Amneet, this is a wonderful question you have asked. And after the Nirbhaya case, I think the things have really changed. I suppose the things have changed in metros at least. So we are working on that, and it should
Okay,
be
sir.
made one of those prime concerns. So it's up to the administration to take these solutions, because solutions are there now. Our students are really working on
Like,
this. Our technocrats
can
are
you
working.
can you
Yeah.
throw light on one or two things? Because I am from a small town, and I really want to know what AI can do about making cities women safe, and even safe for people on the margins. How is AI empowered to do that?
Small cities, once we have your smart cities, once we are connected, there would be cameras, there will be surveillance cameras. So even if you just encounter some enemy or some thief or whosoever it is, untoward incident happening, definitely it will be instantly reported. Those messages would definitely be going on the radar. There are sensors everywhere. There would be sensors there. So
Okay,
if
so I
you
think surveillance system can become
surveillance,
smarter.
it has to become very smart,
Okay.
because this is the need of the hour and it will really help you. Now tell me, Amit, you're using your smartphones and all. Everyone is using, even a rickshaw puller in our country is using a
Yes.
smartphone now.
Yes, sir.
So that will really help. There can be so many applications which one can press and the safety would reach
Okay. Okay.
instantly. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Amit. So I think Somik Bhai is ready with the presentation. Somik Bhai, time is little now. You can start
Yeah.
with it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Sir, thank you so much, Thiram Razakan sir. Really, we are very much inspired about your session and how a young researcher should know about the recent trends and technologies, and they should go with they can use artificial intelligence in their research, and from smart cities to remote areas. The session was very much wonderful and breathtaking.
Thank you,
Now,
ma'am. My privilege. My privilege, ma'am. Thank you.
and I thank once again Khan sir, and also I welcome the third speaker, Dr. Sovik Ganguly sir. Sir, we welcome you for the third session. Now it's the time to introduce our Sovik Ganguly sir with a small intro.
Good evening, everyone. I'm profoundly delighted to introduce the third speaker of the day. Dr. Sovik Ganguly has completed his PhD in the area of system identification and control from Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala. He did his MT research and BTech in electrical engineering from Kalyani University, West Bengal. He is associated with Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala as an assistant professor since June 2009, with 15 years of in academics. He has served the industry for more than 2 years. He has organized several students. He has also worked as a session chair, keynote speaker, conference organizer, and reviewer in top IEEE, Elsevier, and Springer journals. He has published 16 SCI, SCI 50 Scopus indexed papers, book chapters, and conference papers. He has been granted 17 patents for his contribution in control system. 3 of his patents are already published, working on the development of a mobile app to empower telemedicine. He has been serving as the president of Eureka Prize Problems, a student society in Thapar Institute for promoting research activities among undergraduate students. He is also serving as the Vice President of Institution of Engineers India IEI student chapter to organize several technical events, workshops, competitions, and seminars. He has been awarded the Guru Prashid Samman for the year 2020 by CWSIR to recognize his research contribution. He has received the Education Icon Award 2020 under the category Promising Professor of Engineering and Technical Education. He has also received Research Excellence Award for Intelligent Green Technologies for Sustainable Smart Cities, Industrial Control System, Theory and Applications, and Linear and Nonlinear System Modeling, published by Scrivener Publishing. He has guided a total supervision. 2 of his students are presently pursuing PhD under his able guidance. His research inspired meteoristic algorithms, electronic devices, and renewable energy applications. We are honored to have such a great personality as one of our guests today. We are eagerly awaiting to listen to you, sir. Now the session is yours.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your nice introduction. Uh, I'll share my screen first. Let me see. Is my screen visible? Is the screen visible, ma'am? Yeah. Thank you so much. So once again, I'd like to, at the start, I'd like to thank the organizers for providing me an opportunity to deliver. And it would be a really honor to share the stage with some renowned professors like Nader Rajkovic ma'am, Khan sir, uh, and those are stalwarts in their own respective areas. So I'll today take you through a very small journey on how to organize and present data, because when you are talking about research methodology, when you are talking about something related to research, obviously data plays an important role. And even Kanser has also mentioned in his talk about the role of data and data science. So we would like to highlight upon some of the aspects related to data, and why do we require data analysis, what is the purpose, what is the importance of the data, how do we sort the data, how do we organize the data, and finally, how do we present that. I'll go through it quickly because there is a shortage of time, and for which I have to speed up some at certain point of time. So at the very start, we must understand that why is it important for us to organize a data and how to present it. So first of all, the three highlights are efficient analysis, enhanced decision making, and improved communication. So if you have a very well organized data, it will be easier for us to analyze. If your data is disorganized, it can be sometimes difficult for us to identify the trends, identify the patterns, and also provide some insights that are crucial for your decision making purpose. At the same time, when we are talking about decision making, it must be very clear and well presented data which can support better decision making. So when your data is really presentable or provided in an appealing form or understandable manner, it becomes easier for us, for the users, uh, to interpret that particular data and make some good decisions or informed decisions based on that particular data analysis. Apart from that, when we talk about communication, it's effective data presentation which helps in communicating information to the various stakeholders, and of course in a concise or a precise way. Apart from that, whether it is to the investors, customers, or sometimes some internal teams as well, to organize and present the data, or to convey some information, or present some key messages as well. Apart from that, visual representations in the form of, say, charts, pie charts, graphs, etc., will also makes us easier for to understand or grasp the information quickly. Now, when your data is organized, you must be able to identify the trends associated, the patterns of the data by looking at it closely. So if your data is provided in a structured form, there is obviously you'll be able to find out the relation between the variables, and we can be able to analyze that particular data and make some strategic decisions as well. Data integrity and accuracy, this is also equally important. If your data is not organized and it is not presented in a proper manner, of course it may lead to some errors, it may lead to some inaccuracies, it may lead to some inconsistencies as well. So this can hamper our decision making ability or decision making process, and also predictions, future predictions that we make. So we have to ensure that our data is correctly taken or correctly interpreted, or the data is accurate enough, and we should try to minimize the possible errors and improve upon the data quality. Apart from that, when we talk about data storage and retrieval, of course, there must be some organized data which can be stored, which can be retrieved as well, which can be taken care of in future, and we'll be able to get the specific information from the data retrieval process. So this will also save considerable amount of time and effort also, and we can make use of a more productive use of a data. When it comes to the purpose of data analysis, obviously, when we are analyzing a data, we are to draw some meaningful conclusions from the data. We are to make certain informed decisions based on our data collection process. So basically, data analysis involves the process of inspecting a data, or you are to clean the data to some extent, remove out any garbage data that is there. Apart from that, there can be some transformation that can take place, and also some modeling of the data to discover or to get the trends, relationships, etc. Finally, it's to derive an actionable insight, and of course, to improve upon the understanding of the phenomena, or understanding of the business that you are doing, or the understanding the science that you are dealing with, or understanding any healthcare related issues or any other field. So we come to different forms of analysis of the data. First of all, we talk about descriptive analysis. It means when we are looking for descriptive analysis, we are trying to summarize a data. We are describing or summarize a big amount of data, and we try to understand the characteristics of the data. How do we observe the characteristics of the data? Through its certain measures, right? So when we are talking about measures, we talk about some measures like finding out the average, finding out the median, finding out the standard deviation, or sometimes looking into the frequency distribution. So this is basically representing or organizing any data in a meaningful way. So obviously, the measures of central tendency or the measures of dispersion are crucial out here in analyzing a data, or understanding the characteristics of the data. Apart from that, let me go into the diagnostic analysis. Here also, we'll find that we have to identify some cause and effect relationship between the variables. So there should be certain events which are the causes, and there should be some outcomes of that particular event. So when we are going for diagnostic analysis, we are basically investigating some patterns, some trends, some anomalies in the data, and identifying also some root causes and explaining that particular phenomena. So this is what we understand by diagnostic analysis. Let us go in for predictive analysis. So once we are talking about predictive analysis, we must make use of, or we are making use of, basically the historical data. And of course, when we are making use of some historical data, it has to involve some statistical techniques to create certain mathematical equations or mathematical models, and even make predictions about future trends and future outcomes as well. Apart from that, a predictive analysis, it will obviously, as the name implies, it will help me to forecast or prepare some demand planning. We are to take into account the risk assessment, and also sometimes the decision making based on some likely scenarios. So of course, better to be talking about weather forecasting or any other. Say, for example, I'm from electrical engineering background, so I'll talk about the different load forecasting techniques, short-term, mid-term, and as well as long-term forecasting processes. So those involves some historical data, and we have to apply certain statistical tools to develop certain mathematical equations as well. Apart from that, we talk about prescriptive analysis as well. So when we are giving a prescription, like a doctor, one who gives prescription, it provides the best course of action that has to be followed, right? So one has to take the optimal solution based on the analysis or based on any simulation or based on any optimization techniques that we have applied on the data. So basically, you have to provide some insights to guide some decision-making process and also suggesting some actions that can lead to certain desired outcomes. So over here, we have to recommend some best course of action or recommend some optimal solution based on the analysis we carried out. Exploratory analysis is another there to make a open-ended analysis regarding discovering some new patterns, some new relationships, or developing some insights that were previously not explored or previously not known to us. So it may involve some hypothesis generation. It may involve some data mining as well, and also it may try to cover up certain hidden patterns as well. So basically, it is an open-ended research that is taking place, or that is mainly responsible to develop some new patterns or develop some new relationship between the variables which are previously not known or which are previously not explored. Now we move into the different category. Say, for example, we were discussing about the different types of data which can be analyzed. And now we'll talk about how will we sort the data? How will I categorize the data? So basically, you have to make some demarcation based on some attributes or some variables that you are using as sorting parameters. Say, for example, you are making some decision, or you are sorting some products based on some geographical location, based on some purchase frequency, or based on the amount that is spent in some online sites. So these type of informations can be categorized. These type of informations can be sorted based on certain attributes or certain variables. That's just few examples I have quoted here. Apart from that, what necessary software tool that you are going to use, whether we are used to use some Excel sheets, a very well-known technique for making use of data analysis or categorizing data. And also we can make use of Google Sheets as well to sort or categorize any data alphabetically, sometimes in ascending or descending order, or likewise. So depending upon the functions that are available or the features that are available, in order to simplify the process, we can make use of a suitable software or a suitable tool. When we are going for arranging the data, we have to arrange it in a structured fashion or in an organized fashion. So each has to be representing, or each column of the data has to represent some attribute, some variable, and each row should contain some individual data points or records based on, say, if you are dealing with numerical data, of course it must be there in terms of certain ascending or descending order. Likewise, it can also be some other form of data from based on or weather report or weather forecast, or some sort of data which are related to time issues as well. So when we are talking about the data to be sorted, we need to identify also the range of the data that we want to sort. So we need to have some specific columns or some certain specific rows in which your data set or your entire data set must belong to. So say, for example, we are doing a very good exercise of giving the grades to the students. We sort them based on the marks that they get. If it's not a relative grading process, if it's an absolute grading process, so we need to know that we have some higher grades going from 85 onwards, or out of 100 marks you can go in for 90 marks to be the topmost grade, 80 to 90 next high level grade, and so on. So when we are putting some range, so of course when you are sorting some data, we have to be putting it in certain ranges as well. When we are talking about some data set that we need to locate based on the functionality. We need to have certain particular software, like say for example, we were referring about Excel earlier. We can have that particular sort feature under the data tab, and we can use appropriate sorting options, and based on certain criteria that we have set for classifying the columns to sort by, and also it can be, just as I told you before, it can be in ascending or descending order as well. Next stage comes when we are sorted, categorized, put it in different columns or rows or something of that sort, or when we have arranged the data in ascending or descending pool. Next comes, we need to review the data. And of course, based on the criteria that they are sorted, and check for any inconsistencies as well. Because the sorting process may also help us to review our data and arrange or check for any errors or check for any inaccuracies in the process. Once your data is sorted, you have already categorized, you have made some additional fields or columns to represent various attributes or specific variables. You may also categorize in terms of age groups as well, or in terms of income brackets as well. So if you require any additional columns or additional fields to assign any categories or any attributes or any variables, we can always do it based on the age groups or based on the income brackets as well. Apart from that, we must also use some filterings. So filters and pivot tables, they are the additional tools that we require to categorize, or some analysis of data is required. So any functionality that is there to further segment, organize the data based on some specific criteria or based on some specific variable, we can always do that. Now comes how to document it, because once we are categorizing the data, once we have used filters, then next comes we have to label it properly. We have to document the categories so that others can easily understand and navigate your data set. So of course, it is not the only person that you are handling the data. There may be some other persons who are also making use of the data. So your data should be clearly labeled and it should be clearly documented so that anyone who is navigating your data set can easily understand the things. Of course, this may be required for data consistency as well as to retrieve the data for taking any relevant information out of that particular data. If your data set is dynamic, or if it is regularly updated, likewise, it is of course necessary to consistently sort and categorize the new entries, right? So of course, you have your data set must be organized and it must be up to date, of course, but you have to also you may need to also sort it or categorize the new data entries as well and put them in ascending or descending order as well. Next important task is cleaning and formatting the data. Of course, data cleaning is a crucial step. Data formatting is a crucial step in data pre-processing, or when you have to ensure that your data is accurate enough, your data is consistent, it is not having any errors, inconsistencies are not there, and it is ready for analysis. Or sometimes we may also make use of the artificial intelligence techniques like machine learning in order to analyze the data or classify the data at some point of time. So data inspection and data understanding, we need to examine the raw data first of all to understand the structure of the data, to understand the variables and the potential issues that are there. And of course, we need to also identify at the same time any missing values or any inconsistencies lying in the data. Now, when we come across any missing value, we have to handle it out, and we have to put certain things by virtue of which there must be some flagging, there must be some imputation, there must be some deletion. Of course, it may happen. Some common imputation methods may involve some measures of central tendency, as you might see, like mean, median, and mode, or you may use certain predictive models as well to deal with the imputation process. But we have to decide on a particular strategy in order that we need to understand the missing values, we need to flag the data, and if there is some deletion that is taking place due to that, we have to take care of it. Dealing with outliers, we need to identify certain statistical methods, say, for example, box plots or z-scores as well. We need to decide whether to remove or transform or handle based on the domain knowledge or the domain expertise. Next comes data transformation. This is another important and which takes place through 3 steps. Basically, we will discuss about the 3 steps. Standardize the data, which normally we call it normalizing the data, and include the normalization process in such a way so as to bring it to a common scale. Apart from that, we can apply certain transformations to a data. Say, for example, log is sometimes used to transform the data. Sometimes we use the square root values to reduce the skewness or make some certain distributions more and more normal. So we can also encode using some categorical variables, say for example, some techniques that we may use for label encoding or simply one hot encoding and also all these things. So basically, we are to scale or take all the data to a common scale, apply if there is any transformation that is being required, and then we have to encode that particular categorical variables using certain techniques like level encoding and so on. Now comes there are raw data. You have organized the data, so you have sorted the data, you have categorized the data, and you find that there are certain duplicate rows or certain duplicate records of the same data set. So you need to identify those and try to remove out the duplicate records or the duplicate rows. Any inconsistencies that are prevailing in the data, you must, depending upon your domain knowledge, you may inspect manually, and you may try to remove out any inconsistencies that are there in terms of, say, for example, in terms of some units, in terms of any formatting related issues, or naming some conventions as well. Now, next thing comes feature engineering, which is creating some new features that provides some additional benefits for us to predict or predictive power, basically, that will help me to provide some insights on predictive power. And apart from that, we talk about combining the data or deriving the data or extracting features from the existing. So it can be 2 ways. It can be creating some new features, or it can be combining or deriving or extracting out features from the existing ones. Next comes date and time formatting. Sometimes you require to ensure consistency in your date and time formats, DDMMYY, or it can be day, month, or year, or it can be even some time variables as well. It may involve some time formats as well, apart from data. Next comes your data, text data processing, and we have to remove some certain special characters remaining in the data. Some punctuations are there, some irrelevant information in the data as well. So we need to tokenize the data. We need to convert all into lowercase sometimes, or even using some stop words that are necessary. So this is also equally important, to remove any special characters or converting all into lowercase or something of that sort, and removing all the irrelevant information. So this may involve some manual processing, or you may use some intelligent techniques as well. Once we have reached at this particular stage, once your text is being processed, and next things comes that we need to ensure the validation of the data. based on certain predefined rules or certain predefined constraints as well. And we need to also ensure that there is we should remove any logical errors that are there, or any data integrity issues that are cropping up in the process that has to be removed. So coming to the integration after data validation, we come into the integration process. So when we are combining any data coming from multiple sources, so we need to integrate that data. We need to ensure that the data is aligned properly and data is consistent enough. Next comes data splitting. We need to understand and split the data based on some training or based on some validation, based on some test sets that are available. And this may employ some artificial intelligence techniques as well. So we need to ensure that your splitting will maintain the distribution of the target variable. So this must also be ensured as well. Now comes documenting all your clean and formatted data, and record your rationale or your logic behind making certain decisions during that particular process. Now coming to automating this process, because we have to do such activities. If we start doing it manually, it is very difficult, and we have to make use of certain scripting languages in the form of Python, and there are some dedicated libraries in Python like Pandas, NumPy, skitlearn. These things are there by virtue of which we can automate the cleaning process, or we can format the different tasks. Of course, your data cleaning and data formatting are involved with multiple iteration process, and this analysis will also further progress, or we get better data cleaning if we increase the number of iterations as well. So it is an iterative process by virtue of which we are going for data cleaning and data formatting using the machine learning techniques. Apart from that, choosing the appropriate data for visualization tools. So of course, what kind of data is there and how will you fit in appropriately? This is also equally important. So which type of data will you represent through tabular form? Which will you use some graphical representation? Where you will make a pie chart? All these will depend upon the choosing the appropriate data visualization tool is equally important for the data presentation part. So you have to define your goals. You have to frame your objectives for your data visualization, and try to explore the different patterns and communicate some tracks, some trends of the data, or something else that may crop up. So you have to set your objectives, that how will you make your data visualize to the audience, to the readers of yours research. And of course, we must also ensure what is the nature of the data, what is the size of the data, what is the complexity associated with the data, and what are the different structures in which you are getting the data. And most of the data are categorical data, some may be text data, some may be numerical data as well. You have to, when it's a numerical data, we have to understand the dimension of the data, and we have to understand the relationship between the variables. So clear-cut understanding of the data is equally important as well. Apart from that, we need to assess our technical skills, that are we conversant with any programming languages? Sorry, extremely sorry. Are we comfortable with some programming languages, or are we comfortable with certain tools like Excel or Google Sheet? So whichever way you are comfortable with, whether you are comfortable with coding, or whether you are accessible to making use of Microsoft Excel as well. So you have to make a user-friendly interface, because when you are putting the data and you are assessing something and you are trying to make certain analysis, and you are finally presenting it through some visualization process, it has to go through certain proficiency of yours. It can be that you are proficient in your coding skills, you are proficient in your AI and ML techniques, you may be proficient in your you making use of Excel programming and all those stuff. So what type of visualizations are basically needed? So we can express our data with the help of some bar charts, some pie charts, some line charts, some scatter plots, heat maps can be there, some geospatial visualizations can be there, network diagrams and tree maps are of course there. So how will the best data that is available to you, how we can best suit your data and how we can best suit your objectives, that is most important. Now comes the tool selection criteria. Of course, we were telling in our earlier slides that you have to be making use of your comfort zone, but you have to also make use of what type of tools that you select and what is the ease of use of that particular tool, how we can customize that tool, how we can interact with that particular tool, and what is the data connectivity requirement of that using various data sources or various data formats. These are also playing some crucial role in deciding the tool selection process as well. So some of the available tools that you may see over here: Tableau, Power BI, QlikView, Google Data Studio. All these are different available tools that you may make use of. But of course, it may require the use of mostly Python language or R language, which are mostly used. But if you are comfortable in Excel, which is the basic of all visualization techniques, you can also use it as well. And of course, choosing the right visualization tool is also equally important, because when you are experimenting, you have to make use of certain tools, and you need to know how to handle your data and how to align it to your goals. And of course, some feedbacks may be necessary, some collaborations may be required. If you are working in a particular team, you need to gather or you need to identify your team members, and you need to ensure that you have chosen the appropriate tools based on your team strength. And of course, it must cater to everyone's need as well. And of course, when we are selecting that particular tool and we are aligning our goals based on the data, and we are understanding the data characteristics, we are going through the technical skills and preferences, then we can arrive at any final decision as well. Communication insights and analysis. Of course, you can effectively make use of any complex information into a clear-cut way or in a meaningful message that you may want to propagate to your audience as well. So this is also equally important. We should have some good insights or good findings from our analysis. And of course, you must focus on that, what is mattering most, and how will you make your audience gain some insights based on some clear-cut message that you are giving. So what core message you are conveying? Your message must be very much precise, it must be specific, and it must be aligned to the purpose of why we are communicating. And of course, your visuals must be supporting your communications. So a perfect combination of writing in a research article with some good visualization can of course lead to an effective communication that is taking place, and you are able to build up some comparisons, you are able to build up some relationships within your data. And of course, you have to be contextual as well. You're helping your audience to understand your data, the sources that you have taken, you have your methodology of work, and any assumptions or simplifications that you have made in the particular study. Apart from that, it's all about how well you are narrating your story, how you are setting the stage, how you are following the main insights and concluding the implications of the study or the actions that has to be taken. And of course, moving beyond presenting your data is the implications of your findings. That is most equally important. We call it novel contribution of the work at certain point of time when we are talking about in research articles or manuscripts that you are submitting to a particular journal. Of course, we look into the important implications or the findings of the particular work that you are presenting. We have to customize your communication style or your communication level or technical detail that you are providing based on the audience's expertise as well. So you have to use a language that is, you have to use some examples that make, you have to make some certain analogies, some metaphors to make some complex concepts look very easy to understand as well. And apart from that, you are supposed to provide some good amount of evidence and you have to provide some data records or data points to show your credibility of your work or your conclusions or your analysis as well. And of course, we can, if possible, provide some actionable recommendations for your work that you have carried out, and some stories, some real world examples, some illustrations that are there that you may present. And if you are presenting just like I'm doing it in person, or we are doing it virtually, you have to engage your audience through some interactive sessions, through some question answer sessions, through some polls. We can also have some discussions as well. Apart from that, we can also utilize through some presentation tools, some infographics, some animations, some transition slides, and of course, making use of effective multimedia, which can also be engaging and understanding for you. So finalizing what we are trying to make our audience understand today is emphasizing on the visual and the design consistency. So apart from that, we need to practice our presentation multiple times. Always we do it to ensure a smooth delivery of your presentation. And of course, you must seek feedback from your colleagues, from your mentors, from your team members to improve upon the clarity of thought or sometimes the effectiveness of your communication as well. And you must also pay attention to the audience's reactions during your presentation process as well. So the questions, how you are handling the questions at the end of the session, or when we are prepared to adapt to your communication based on the engagement that we had, based on the questions that we have, and even some follow-ups after the presentation. If we are able to provide certain resources to the audience, that would be even more beneficial for them. We are able to contact information or something of that sort. That would be really beneficial for the audience and for further discussion as well. And finally, I'll conclude here. And we have been able to present to some, throw some certain light on the organization of the data, the different data analysis tools, what is the purpose of the data analysis, what is the importance of the data organizing and presenting a data, and we are trying to make certain careful planning, thoughtful design process, and sometimes some effective communication as well. And of course, when we are presenting that particular data, it is about conveying that information not only accurately, but also meaningfully, and engaging our audience to participate and ask questions, raise questions, and of course, with our planning and with our data, we are able to turn our data into actionable insights, and which will be helping us to make certain correct decisions or informed decisions as well. With this, I end up on my discussion today. It has been a long discussion of 45 minutes. Of course, I'd like to have certain questions in the session the stage is completely yours to the audience to ask any questions, any relevant questions related to the topic. Please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Participants. Participants, do you have any questions?
Good evening, sir. It is actually a nice presentation. And I just have one doubt, sir. When you're talking about data analytics part, tell me some related concept of future related concept to do PhD in data science field.
Okay, so you are interested in doing some sort of prediction, right? What I can make out, and of course you can of course pursue your PhD in data science, and of course it's a growing area, and AI and ML go hand in hand with your data science, and of course you can. We have several prediction tools, several classifiers available already in standard techniques already available, and depending upon what kind of prediction that you are doing or what kind of prediction that you are going to do, it depends. It all depends, and based on which you have to select an appropriate tool, of course, because based on the data, the tool will be can slightly change whether I want to classify the data or whether I want to make certain predictions. Say, for example, we talk about weather predictions, we talk about different load predictions as well. So depending upon what kind of a data you are using, you can of course make a career in data science. You can always go for a PhD, pursue your PhD in data science topics as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions from participants side? I think we can move on to the end of the session. At the outset, I thank you so much, sir, for your insightful and precise presentation about organizing the data with proper consistency and how to inspect the data in a meaningful way. It was very much helpful for the FD individuals, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, I thank the stars of today's session and making us more knowledgeable in our research area.